Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me focus on the social protection, social safety net recommendation in our governance diagnostic report. I will first start by quoting from one of our FDG participants. Actually, we commend the approach of Aswasuma, which is the latest social protection mechanism that has been proposed and being implemented right now. It's very broad. It's a multi-dimensional approach to poverty in Sri Lanka, and much better comprehensive assessment base for selecting the beneficiaries. So I quote from this FDG participant. I participated initially in collecting information from families in our village and surrounding areas. Now I can't even stay in my home because people are angry due to problems with how this information has been used to select Aswasuma recipients. Many of the young people who collected the information didn't even know or care what they were doing. And injustice has taken place. How can we solve this problem? Unquote. Here we have seen that local consultations have been used, and there is a fact that widespread dissatisfaction with the newest iteration of the social safety net, which is Aswasuma, and there's a high degree of confusion and lack of transparency. So while we welcome the multidimensional nature of the selection process, it is necessary to recognize that coverage should be universal for non-income related needs and conditions. And also, the open public debate is required, and it's key to raise awareness and garner support, the public buy-in, which is very important for a long-term social protection mechanism in the country. So if this is not feasible or necessary for such far-reaching, it is not feasible or necessary for to force such far-reaching changes without evidence-based rational discussion on the pros and cons, and hence this is at the core of our governance landscape that we are talking here today, especially given the overall financial difficulties faced by all citizens of Sri Lanka. Now, continuing on this, we can really look at this as a core governance issue and also has serious implications on the financial restructuring that's taking place. So the IMF proposals seek to increase expenditure with improved coverage, but a recent study demonstrates that the key challenges of lack of transparency and also favoritism, discrimination on the basis of ethnicity, language, gender, occupation, mismanagement or corruption, as well as communication gaps remain inadequately addressed. Therefore, we have made this recommendation that we should increase transparency and accountability of the new social safety net cash transfers through reconceptualizing multidimensional poverty indicators. Recently, there has been a lot of interest, and we have seen a lot of updated information. There's data, disaggregated data by geography, socioeconomic groups. These can be used for a more inclusive and satisfactory program of social protection in Sri Lanka. And also, while providing universal access, we have to have universal access for families with disability, illness and trauma. And then we have made two specific recommendations, one short term, one medium term, here to increase of course, the transparency and accountability of the new social safety mechanism. Then also very specific recommendation in the medium term, alienate land for user-owned housing in the Malayaha Tamil areas, and provision of living minimum wage for plantation sector workers, such as right to housing, guarantee right to housing and livelihood. So I would like to conclude by saying that while we look at the macroeconomic changes that are happening at a national level, we need to also look at the grassroots. That's why we tried to capture the pulse of the people in a very scientific way, and also try to relate to the formal government policies that are being adopted or that are being changed now, such as the Aswasuma program. It's a collective responsibility, and we as the civil society organizations which are represented here, and also more than 300 organizations that have been consulted and being part of this process, we want to be a part of the solution, and we will continue to cooperate with all the stakeholders to make sure that we have better governance in Sri Lanka. Thank you.